This is All-Pro guard Paul Westphal, who set a personal record for points scored in a season. Now he's zeroing in on 2,000 points for the year, and today he leads the Phoenix Suns against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Campy Russell, who's a leading scorer for the Cavaliers and has 5 times scored over 30 points this season. Today it's the Cavaliers against the Suns.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. Light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by General Motors, people building transportation to serve people.
It's the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Phoenix Suns from the Richfield Coliseum. The third meeting of the year between these two clubs. They've split on the 2 previous occasions. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, and alongside me is Steve Jones, and thanks for inviting us in on this Palm Sunday. Steve, the Phoenix Suns are on their longest road swing of the year, and they've lost 4 straight.
This is the most difficult time of the season for them. They've been experiencing some losing streaks in February, and now in March, they have got to get it turned around today.
On the other hand, the Cleveland Cavaliers have won 3 in a row, but, Steve, they can't afford to lose any.
They cannot afford to lose anything. As you can see, they're in a tough fight for that last 5th and 6th spot in the playoff positions with New Orleans and Atlanta. 1 game separates them from the bottom.
As you can see, we're ready to go now. There's the starting lineup. Russell, Jones, Elmore, Smith, Walker, and Carr, Davis, Hurd, Adams, Boosie, and Westphal. And Foots Walker comes away with it in the yellow uniforms, the light uniforms, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Earl Strom and Dick Pavetta, the 2 officials for this game. Baseline, and it's thrown away, and the Phoenix Suns will take it over. Now, Steve Jones, there's 2 contrasting styles down on the floor here this afternoon.
Well, Phoenix is a team that is small and likes to rely on its quickness. They've had a lot of problems out on the road lately. They need to get back and practice and work on a lot of the little things. And Cleveland, on the other hand, is a team that likes to grind it out. You will see a lot of Cleveland scores under 100 points. They are the lowest scoring team in the league.
That was a shot by Alvin Adams and misses. As Walker brings it off in a hurry now to Campy Russell, the leading scorer, and Russell looks for 1. And on the boards, they come down with a Garfield. Hurd plays it off to Paul Westphal. Westphal coming into this game is 5, number 5 in the NBA in scoring, and he has the first 2 points of the afternoon. Westphal has just been nothing short of sensational this year. Walker brings it down 2-0, Phoenix with the lead. This is Elmore Smith, who started the last 29 games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And he's quite a story this year, Steve Jones.
Well, it appears that Elmore Smith has finally come to play with the kind of consistency that they thought he would have when he came out of Kentucky State. He's the type of player that can dominate. He blocks shots well, he rebounds well, he also scores well, but he's only done it in spurts.
There's Adams with the left-handed hook. And Adams has had a tough year. He came down with tonsillitis, he had strep throat, but he's now back in and has started the last 22 games.
Yeah, he's been in and out of the lineup, and it's been a real tough time for him. But the amazing thing is the Phoenix Suns continue to win. They found that they were a good team without Alvin Adams, and they hope that he's back, they'll be better, even though they're losing now.
And now Cleveland, they don't run the ball that much, but here comes Foots Walker. Tipped outside by Austin Carr, the former Notre Dame standout. He plays it off to Walker. Walker going baseline on Westphal, and that'll be off of Adams. It'll be Cleveland's basketball.
Well, the thing that the Cleveland Cavaliers have been able to do early is good, easy shots. Jim Jones had a nice, easy drive inside. Elmore Smith got an easy basket on the side without much pressure. And the Phoenix Suns, in order to be really effective, have to have pressure on the basketball and make Cleveland do something they don't want to do, run out of their pattern.
4-4 scored, 10 minutes to go, first period. Adams bats it away from Elmore Smith. I would assume that Adams at 6'9", 215 has a tough time against this big Smith who stands at 7 foot.
Well, he has a bigger problem there because he doesn't have the strength factor that Elmore Smith does. He's got to keep Smith out of the middle and down and deep. Those are real easy shots for Elmore Smith. Those are the type of shots you don't want him getting. Alvin Adams, on the other hand, has an advantage over Smith. He can take him outside and shoot over him. He has a lot more quickness.
All right, Cleveland will play it in again. Jim Jones, who many people feel is having his best year in the NBA, brings it off to Walker. Walker, by the way, is only 5'11", the smallest man on the floor. Austin Carr picked up by Boosie. Off it comes to Jones. Jones against Hurd. Jones got about 3 inches on him. He goes at 6'11". Here's Smith again. He's now 1 for 3 from the field. Campy Russell having trouble. And coming away with it is Adams, and here they come. Don Boosie, who last year led the NBA in steals and assists. Westphal, look at that move. Tipped up, rebound, Elmore Smith. Right now, Cleveland doing a good job on the defensive boards.
Well, the thing the Phoenix Suns are doing is they're coming down and they're taking a quick opportunity shot. They're only getting one shot, and they have to come back.
Jim Jones hits. Jones coming in here, averaging over 15 points a game. He has 4 points now. This is Boosie from outside, and Don Boosie, who does not score a lot, he's only averaging 8.5 points a game as his first two. That's a 6-6 game with 9 minutes first period.
Well, Don Boosie is their playmaker. He is the guy ideally to play opposite of Paul Westphal. Westphal likes to, he keeps his nose on the basket. He likes to put the ball up a lot, and well, he should because he's a great scorer. And Boosie, on the other hand, is happy to pass the ball to the players that put it up.
Walter Davis, who seems to be a shoe-in for that NBA Rookie of the Year honors, averaging 24 points a game. Sweet D, as they call him. And we've got a whistle. Loose ball foul coming up, and it's against Jim Jones.
Jim Jones is not happy about that at all.
Jim Jones started the year at the Bibbin, and then they made a change. They moved him to forward, brought Elmore Smith in the middle, and they've gone that way the last 29 games as they put Jim Brewer on the bench. Boosie missing, rebound, can't be Russell. Here they come. Footswalker broken up by Boosie, but Boosie fouled him.
Jim Brewer just did not respond as they thought he would this year, and so they had to come with something else. Fitz likes to have two centers, and he does have two legitimate centers. Jim Jones is a better player in the middle. He likes to shoot facing the basket, but he's got an opportunity to play out on the wing, and he's responded.
Neither one of these teams shooting very good percentage of shots. We're going to have a jump ball coming up. It'll be Elmore Smith. Picked up from the Milwaukee Bucks in a trade, and it's been an excellent trade as far as Cleveland is concerned. He goes up against Hurd, controls the tip to Austin Carr. Carr, the only player in the history of this Cleveland franchise to play in the NBA All-Star game. It's been a balanced team scoring-wise. They've never had any one guy really score a lot of points. And there's a guy that can do it, though, Campy Russell.
Well, Campy Russell, he's a great offensive player. His shot selection is a little suspect sometimes, but he can take the ball outside, drive around his man, move the ball up the court, make the easy play.
Austin Carr with a pull-up. And rebound, Garfield Hurd. Hurd, a big rugged performer. He's been playing bruised. He's been battered up all year for the Phoenix Suns. Westphal picked up by Carr. Here's Garfield Hurd outside. And again, they're just not shooting very well in the opening going. Here comes Footswalker again.
Well, they're not shooting well, but the important thing is to keep the tempo of the game as quick as it is. Phoenix likes a fast-paced, wide-open running game, and Cleveland is obliging by coming down and taking a quick opportunity shot. Phoenix likes to play at this pace. They have two guys that really can score in Davis and Westphal.
And there's one of them. Westphal can't get it to drop. Elmore Smith again, and I'll point out again, they're getting only one crack at that basket because Cleveland has collapsed in and boxed off well on the boards. Here's Walker outside to Jones. Jones at 6'11". Rebound, Hurd again. He brings it off to Westphal. All Westphal slowing it down a little bit. This guy, right-handed, but as you pointed out to me, Steve, he likes to drive to the left. Here is Davis, up to Hurd, wide open shot.
If they can continue to get those type of shots, they had a breaking situation. Cleveland was late in picking up the trailing Garfield Hurd. He gets an easy basket. They can stay in a basketball game. Cleveland does not like to continue to go at this early opportunity pace that they've been playing at. They'd much rather come down, set up like they're doing now, and grind it out.
It was pointed out a couple years ago, so that's the reason they were so successful. Here's Smith, Reed missing, and Adams with the rebound. Boosie, fast break, Westphal, beautifully executed.
That's Phoenix Suns basketball right there. Bill Fitch would rather have his team bring it up slowly, as I said earlier. The Cleveland Cavaliers have not been the same team since they won the Eastern Division championship. They have been spoiled by success, so to speak. They have not been able to execute and run their plays and get the people a shot where they really make the best percentage.
Elmore Smith, he's not hitting. And off it comes to Boosie. Look at him stringing out the fast break. Oh, Alvin Adams. But that was Westphal that set it up beautifully.
Well, Westphal got the ball in the middle where you should have it so you can see all lanes in the court, and he hit that cutting Alvin Adams again, who has an advantage over Elmore Smith because he can get down the floor quicker.
And that's off the hands of Campy Russell. It'll be Phoenix's basketball. And Cleveland right now a little bit disorganized, so they're going to call a timeout. 5:55 to go, first period. It's the Suns 12, the Cavaliers 10.
Yeah, Buck.
I just went to another bar and asked for light beer for Miller.
Yeah?
They said, sorry, Buck, we don't have it.
They didn't have it?
No. I don't want some beer that's going to fill me up. No. I want light. Tastes great.
Right.
Has a third less calories than a regular beer.
Yeah.
And, man, it's less filling. You think I'm going to the other bar again? No way. From now on, the buck stops here.
beer. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
See what's new today.
Chevrolet announces a lot more Chevette for a lot less money. New Chevette standard equipment includes a radio, reclining bucket seats, white-wall tires, console, sports steering wheel, a 1.6-liter engine, 18 new standard features in all, plus a wide hatch, carpeting, front disc brakes, rack and pinion steering, and more. The 78 Chevy Chevette. A lot more car for a lot less money.
Ribbit, ribbit.
You know, I think I liked you better as a frog. As a frog, you had a much smoother face. Prince, didn't you ever hear Palmolive Rapid Shave? While you were away, they improved it. Palmolive Rapid Shave is thicker and lusher than ever. Feels good while you shave. Feels good after.
Improved Palmolive Rapid Shave in 3 refreshing fragrances. And now Irish Spring fragrance, too.
What do you say now, Prince?
Ribbit.
Ribbit?
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of the World Cup skiing finals with America's Phil Mayer racing against Sweden's Ingemar Stenmark. Highlights of European freestyle figure skating. Plus, the 33rd running of the Gulfstream Handicap. That's next Saturday at 5 p.m.
Gary Bender and Steve Jones in the Richfield Coliseum. And Steve, right now, Cleveland's kind of fallen into the pattern that I think they didn't want to get into.
They didn't want to get into a running game. They would like to get down and get that quick early opportunity shot, but they don't want to live by it. Their style of play is to come down and run the pattern, make the defense work, and come up with an easy outside perimeter shot.
There's an interesting stat. Second lowest scoring team in the NBA, Cleveland. And Cleveland right now shooting only 33%. They've hit 5 of the first 15. Davis is not able to drop one through. Austin Carr brings it off to Walker. Same fives that opened the ball game come back in as we join play. 5.5 minutes to go, first period. Cleveland with a 3-game winning streak. Phoenix has lost 4 in a row, and that didn't even draw iron. But Austin Carr goes there.
That was a great pass to Austin Carr. Campy Russell couldn't get the ball up to the hoop, but Carr was in the right spot at the right time, and they give up another basket to Don Boosie off a breaking situation. Cleveland has not made a good transition from offense to defense, and Phoenix has had a lot of easy opportunities, and they've made a better percentage so far.
Austin Carr coming back and missing after Boosie picked up his 4th point of the afternoon. Here comes Davis. Boy, what a performer he's going to be for years to come. Boosie again. Rebound, Austin Carr. Brings it off to Foots Walker. Walker only at 5'11". He's got 6'4" Westfall on him. Campy Russell, and he's been fouled. Don Boosie. We might mention that Walt Frazier is out of the lineup. He's been out for 12 games. You talked to him, Steve, before the game. When's he going to be back?
Well, I talked to Walt Frazier before the game, and he said it's just a day-to-day situation. He's improving. He can move straight ahead, but he cannot cut from side to side. He feels that the injury is a reoccurring one. He hurt his foot earlier in the season, and he has just had to continue to play on it, and it got so bad that he's had to take a lot of time off. He hopes to be back in time for the playoffs.
We got a little problem here now with the net, and they're going to hold up the free throw as Earl Strom comes over there to check it. And now this is Ron Lee, the exciting man, second-year man from the University of Oregon. This guy makes things happen. He is first in the NBA in steals. At the line now, Campy Russell. Russell this year is averaging just under 20 points a game. He, on 5 different occasions, scored over 30 points. He has 3 points. He was hurt at one stage this year, and he had to come back from injury.
Well, Cleveland has had a lot of players in and out of the lineup, but a good team does not allow the injury factor to really hurt them. I mean, those key personnel that will miss, but Cleveland has a good balanced team, and they have a lot of people on the bench that can come in, have interchangeable parts. They have just not played as well. They play well at home and not so good out on the road, and being away from home has really hurt them.
You saw Walter Davis with that super quickness of his, able to get one to drop at 16-14. Phoenix, 4.5 minutes to go, first period. Austin Carr with Westfall on him. Jones using that 6'11" height to good advantage.
Well, Jim Jones is a good jump shooter. That's what he likes to do, come across. The biggest problem for Jim Jones is sometimes he gets a little bit out of his range, and that's when he starts missing shots. Westfall gets one on a drive to his left.
All right, let's look at this play. Westfall's basket will count, and he was fouled.
Well, Westfall likes to come to his left, and anytime you see him coming to his left, he's probably going to try and go all the way. The thing you want to do with Westfall is try and make him shoot going to his right, where he generally pulls up and shoots a shot from the outside.
Austin Carr picking up the foul. Westfall, the three-point play, 19-16, the favor of the Phoenix Suns. The Suns have a 6-game road swing. They go from here to Indiana. Footswalker. Boy, that guy is quick.
Well, that's not good defense by the Phoenix Suns that time. Walker out in a 5-man set just went right on Lee and got it down the lane with no one bothering to step in.
Here's Ron Lee. Rebound Smith. Smith brings it out to Austin Carr. Carr, but Westfall's back. Austin Carr, he can heat up, and he can really run some points off on you.
Well, that's what Austin Carr really does best. They had Austin Carr in a situation where they were trying to make him the playmaker. He did not adjust to it well, and the Cleveland Cavaliers suffered for it, and so did Austin Carr. It was a tough game for him.
We are super critical on that line. We'll knock down engines for a bad paint job, and that's no jive, man. Quality control is the most important aspect of the whole business.
James Rock, Quality Control Inspector. This is who we are and what we do at General Motors.
If the customer has problems with that car, then we got problems, because he's not going to be a General Motors customer again. We have 9 inspection stations. I go around to critical points on the line to ensure that they're doing the job right. I run hot tests. You can listen to that engine and you can say, well, this one's a good one or this one's a bad one. It's a good feeling. It's a little feeling of power. There's nobody going to overrule you. But we want to ensure that by the time that it's shipped to the assembly divisions, that engine does function in the way that it's designed to function. I feel personally responsible for that car. I know it's a good car. I know we build it and we build it right.
General Motors, people building transportation to serve people.
Outward bound, Rota, Spain. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Following the game, CBS Sports presents the World Skate Challenge with JoJo Starbuck, Janet Lynn, and more superstars of the ice competing in a unique format. That's the World Skate Challenge following the game on most of these stations.
Well, Phoenix a little disorganized, so both teams have used a timeout to kind of get their act together.
Well, generally after a couple of quick baskets like Cleveland got, the coach will call a timeout and try and reorganize his team. I'm sure he wants his team to get back and play a little bit tougher defense, make the transition from offense to defense better themselves.
3:35 to go. First period, 20-19. The Cavaliers with a 1-point lead. Westfall off to Autry, who's now checked into the lineup, replacing Alvin Adams. Autry for a while was the starter when Adams was under the weather. Westfall, tough time, and it's off of Cleveland. It will be Phoenix's basketball. Autry, a big, strong guy in the middle.
He's a big, strong center, and he can bang very well against Elmore Smith. He's the type of physical center that they'd like to use against Elmore Smith, and maybe give Alvin Adams a rest and swing him out at the forward and give Gar Hurd some rest.
Davis having a tough time. He can't get that ball to drop for him. Cleveland with the ball and a 1-point lead. Walker picked up by Ron Lee. Lee, remember now, leads the NBA in steals. Off it goes into Elmore Smith, and he just ran over Autry, but Autry's guilty of fouling.
Well, Dennis Autry did not move his feet. Right here, he's got good position, but he doesn't have his feet moving, and he falls down, and Elmore Smith gets the foul against him, and Cleveland has the ball out on the side.
First foul on Autry. Autry's a guy that used to drive Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Fitz. 2:55 to go here. 20-19 Cavaliers. Welcome to the fans from Philadelphia. We're here in the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield as we have the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Phoenix Suns, and the Suns just hit to take a 21-20 lead. I'm Gary Bender along with Steve Jones in the white uniforms, the yellow, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Phoenix in the dark. This is Austin Carr. Both teams in the early going, Steve Jones, have not really gotten their game together.
You know, Phoenix has been able to play their game at least at the pace they want to play it. They've moved up and down the floor quickly. They have not played the type of pressure defense that allowed them to be #1 in steals so far this year.
Alvin Scott is now checked into the Phoenix lineup. He's the young rookie from Oral Roberts. Footswalker hits from outside against Ron Lee. And that makes it 22-21. Cleveland leading the Phoenix Suns here at Richfield Coliseum. So we have a foul now on Campy Russell. And on the far side, Ron Lee will bring it in for the Phoenix Suns. The Suns trying to break that 4-game losing streak. They have, since the All-Star break, kind of hit some tough times.
They are a team that needs to work on the little things. I talked with Coach John McLeod before the game started, and he said it is just a combination of little things that's hurting them, and they have not had a chance to get back. You see Walter Davis works here on the side. It goes up for the jump shot, doesn't get it, and you got Dennis Autry coming over Elmore Smith's back.
Well, that's over the limit now, and that is the second foul on Autry. And Elmore Smith will go to the line.
Well, Dennis has not wasted much time in letting his presence being felt inside. He's banged on Elmore Smith a couple of times, and this time it cost him.
One more.
Elmore Smith hits. Bill Fitch says this guy has had really an unfair label on him. He says he's been very cooperative. He's worked hard. There's been some people say that he plays in spurts, but since coming to Cleveland, he's found a home.
Well, since he got to Cleveland, maybe he's like those coal miners. He's called a strike off, and he's really begun to work. The thing about Elmore Smith is that he's been a player that's come out and shown flashes. He has a league record of 17 blocks, and all of a sudden you don't hear from him for 2 or 3 weeks. He can show great things. He just not had done it consistently as Greg Griffin comes in for the Phoenix Suns, replacing Walter Davis.
Greg Griffin, he's a guy who got another opportunity with Phoenix when Curtis Berry went on the injury list. Dennis Autry with the ball. Griffin out of Idaho State, a rookie. Here's another rookie, Alvin Scott from Oral Roberts. He's been a big surprise this year. Ron Lee with a rebound. Well, that Lee, when he gets in there, you don't know where that ball's going. He's an exciting performer. That's off Elmore Smith. He didn't expect that.
I didn't think he was going to get that good a pass. So one thing about Ron Lee is he's always going to be around the basketball. You don't know what he's going to do. I'm certain at times he doesn't know what he's going to do, but he's going to be after the basketball. He can shoot a ball up in the stand 1 minute. He's the only player I know who can throw a pass to himself, throw it, hustle out of it.
All right, hitting is Greg Griffin, the rookie from Idaho State, his first 2 points. And now it's 24-23, Cleveland by 1. Walker off to Elmore Smith. Smith, the big guy, can't get it. Fine, foul that time by Campy Russell.
Well, one thing about Elmore Smith today, he came ready to shoot. He's had a lot of balls up in this first period. He hasn't gotten many down, but he's going to be an offensive threat today.
Autry not known for his shooting. Rebound Jones, and Jones has a bundle of defensive boards in this first period. Here they come. Walker with a couple of moves. Puts Walker, who comes in here with an 8-point average. And he already has those 8 points in the first period.
Well, they've gotten a lot of breaking opportunities. This is something they don't normally get. Most teams make the transition against them better, but Phoenix has been out on the road. They may be a little road weary, and they've been slow getting back on defense.
Austin Carr committed the foul, and he's going out. Number 25 is Terry Furlow coming in, and also Dick Snyder, number 10. Furlow, second-year man, picked up from Philadelphia, and a fine shooter.
Great shooters they have in the backcourt now, and Snyder and Furlow, but neither one of them are really good ball handlers. Phoenix would do well to apply some pressure on one of these players, bringing the ball up and disrupt the Cleveland offense.
Both teams now are over the limit. As Westfall at the line, look at those shooting percentages from the stripe. Not too bad, huh?
Well, Paul Westfall is a great scorer. He gets a lot of his points off the drive, which gets him to the free throw line where he shoots over 80%.
He has 9 points. It's 28-25. Cleveland with the advantage as we come into the last minute of the first period. Snyder off to the big guy again, Elmore Smith. Off to Snyder. I tell you, Snyder can shoot with anybody, and he gets hot. Look out. Here comes Ron Lee. Westfall, here's the break that they love. Westfall, who's acrobatic, gonna have a foul coming up. I tell you, when Westfall takes off, he has about 3 moves to that basket. He's an amazing athlete.
Well, Paul Westfall's an amazing athlete. You'll see him come across again, going to his left. That's when he likes to make his penetrating move. He's going to bring it back. He likes the stuff going to his left. He didn't get close enough that time, but he got himself on the free throw line, and that's an easy deuce.
Shoots with either hand. Not too many guys can do that, Steve, in the NBA.
Well, he doesn't, he shoots most of his layups and close-in shots with his left hand. On the outside and the perimeter, he basically stays with the right hand. But he has a lot of acrobatic moves that he makes, which makes him real tough to check.
Remember now, the penalty's in, so he had 3 to make 2. He has another coming. 29 seconds to go, first period. 2-point lead now for Cleveland. Paul Westfall cuts it to 1. 11 points for Westfall. Here comes Snyder, a guy who a couple of years ago really had a lot to do with them winning the division championship. Baseline Furlow from Michigan State out to Snyder. Jones, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Snyder broken up, but he's fouled by Westfall. Ball Westfall reaching in on Snyder. So going to the line will be Dick Snyder. This is his 12th year out of Davidson.
Well, this is not a good foul by Westfall. Snyder's out in the backcourt. Looks like he almost got the ball clean, but he did knock him off balance with the body. He almost made a good steal, but when a player's under that much pressure, you just want to make it a tough shot for him and not give him an easy shot. Snyder's an 85% career free thrower, and you can't give him cheap baskets.
He's gone over 10,000 points in his career. He's one of 77 players in the history of the NBA to do that. So he's gotten a few to go through that hoop. 30-27, we have 10 seconds now, as you see it on your screen, remaining in this first period. Lee with Furlow on him. Out to Westfall, 3 seconds. All Westfall, and that's going to end it. After one period of play here in the Richfield Coliseum, our score, the Cleveland Cavaliers 30, the Phoenix Suns 27.
I joined the move to Michelin.
I joined the move to Michelin.
I joined the move to Michelin.
You should too. Michelin's the one that introduced the radio, and Michelin makes only radios. Michelin's the one that's made radios longer than anybody else in the world. Michelin's the one to insist on.
Join the move to Michelin.
For real tire satisfaction, think Michelin first. We're second to none.
Now there's even more to love about new Chevy Love. New looks, plus the longest box of any economy-size pickup in America. A new soft ride suspension. A new 1,635-pound load capacity. And the kind of mileage you might expect. 34 miles per gallon highway, 24 city. Now there's even more to love. For everybody. Chevy trucks, built to stay tough.
Hi, I'm David Thompson of the Denver Nuggets. And I'm a long way from NBA action. Here in Africa, like a lot of places around the world, the Peace Corps is alive and well, helping people in need. People went out of their way to help me when I was a kid. And that's what the Peace Corps is asking you to do. Help someone and you'll help yourself. Join the Peace Corps.
This message is brought to you by the Ad Council in cooperation with the NBA.
30-27, our score after one period of play. The Cleveland Cavaliers with the lead, and the Cavaliers, I'm sure, very, very much interested in what the rest of the NBA is doing, because Atlanta, New Orleans, they're also concerned about the New York Knicks. Some people feel, Steve, that could still be one of the slots that one of the teams here in the Central Division could claim.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers have an outside shot at catching New York or Washington, because they do play so very well at home, but they have to win basketball games, and they have a tendency against good basketball teams to get a little disorganized and not play their game. I would not say that they're going to catch them, but they do have an outside shot at it.
Baseline, Autry trying to move inside, and he's been fouled.
That's 21. Oh, you see, this is too easy. No pressure on the basketball. The ball comes from way outside in deep to Autry, and Jim Jones is on his back along with Campy Russell, and that gives Dennis Autry a chance to shoot a couple of free throws.
2 fouls now on Campy Russell. Autry, coming into this game, is only averaging under 4 points a game. Shoots 65% from the stripe. Rebound comes back outside to Scott. Westfall. And Westfall and Davis are not hitting in the early going here for the Phoenix Suns. 30-28, 2-point lead for Cleveland.
Well, neither one of them are scoring well, but they are the people that have gotten them here so far, and they will continue to put the ball up, and good offensive players generally begin to score.
Barry Furlow being pressured by Ron Lee. 30-28, Cleveland leading the Suns. We'll keep you posted on this game, but now for a report on the Knicks-Philadelphia game, let's go to Brent Musburger and Keith Erickson in Philadelphia.
Turnover. Welcome now to those of you who've just joined us. The New York Knicks in their road dark uniforms up with a miss. They lead the 76ers by 5, 38-33. Foul called as Free put it down.
18.
That's Phil Jackson pushing underneath.
20. Jackson. 20-second timeout, White.
And we're going to have a 20-second injury timeout. Daryl Dawkins' right knee a little tender. Al Domenico out there. What is that one sign that I see? Please don't feed the Daryl. Favorite he has become. Now we're going to have a full timeout. And there is the Cleveland score. Those of you who have been watching the Cavaliers and the Phoenix Suns, 2-point game there. They call it 20-second injury timeout, Keith, but he's so gosh darn big, they need about a minute and a half to treat one of those knees, so we got a full timeout.
Welcome back to Cleveland. Gary Bender and Steve Jones. Our score here at the 10:38 mark of the second period. Cleveland leading the Phoenix Suns by 4, 32-28. As Alvin Adams is checked back into the Phoenix lineup, picking up Elmore Smith, who scored a basket while we're away. Dick Snyder. Snyder, and Adams comes down with a rebound. Up it comes to Mike Bratz. He's the rookie from Stanford.
The thing that the Phoenix Suns have done now with Terry Furlow and Dick Snyder is applied more pressure in the backcourt, which has made it difficult for Cleveland to get into their set offense, and they've not really gotten good shots.
Snyder's missed 2 in a row now, and the Suns have a chance to tie this game up. Ron Lee, Davis, and Walter Davis can't handle it. So we're going to have a timeout called now at the 10:04 mark. The Cleveland Cavaliers enjoy a 32-30 lead. We'll be back with more from the Richfield Coliseum.
Sit tight, old timer. I'll take care of it. Let me tell you something, gang. Any gas will get you where you want to go. But it ought to be in there cleaning your carburetor, too. Now, you want to make sure you're getting the job done? Use STP gas treatment. You pump in a can with every tank load of gas, and it goes to work cleaning like a bandit. Clean that carburetor. Get a hold of this, and do it yourself. Keep the change, partner.
Zebco puts it on the line with the Zebco Omega 33 XPL. Smooth, powerful ball-bearing drive, ultra-sensitive drag, and an interchangeable handle for right or left-hand retrieve. The Zebco Omega 33 XPL. Just one of the Zebco Omegas. Made in America by Zebco. The folks you fish with.
Introducing the Kellys. From Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Kelly Passenger Radio. From Cumberland, Maryland, the Kelly Truck Tire. From Tyler, Texas, the Kelly RV Tire. From Freeport, Illinois, the Kelly Farm Tractor Tire. From Cumberland, Maryland, the low-cost 4-ply tire.
For whatever driving you're doing, the Kellys have a tire for you. The Kellys. What a lot.
Tough throughout the line. Look good and tough. We're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling.
We welcome those fans in Detroit. We're here in Cleveland. Our game, the Phoenix Suns. They're in the dark uniforms against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the light uniform. We're at the 10:04 mark of the second period. And right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers enjoy a 2-point 32-30 lead. And right now, it's interesting to me, Steve Jones, that Cleveland has really been able to run with Phoenix thus far.
Well, Cleveland has been able to get down because Phoenix has not played a lot of pressure. They like to pressure the basketball. Cleveland's been able to get inside, as we see Campy Russell doing right then. And they've been able to break down and get easy opportunities. This is not the style of play that Cleveland is famous for, but they're going to take the cheap baskets when they present themselves.
8 points in the game now for Campy Russell. This is Alvin Scott, a rookie from Oral Roberts. And here they come on the run, but Furlow forgot to take the ball. Ron Lee to Adams. Adams brings it out to Scott. This is Mike Bratz, a rookie from Stanford. A lot of substitutions. They're early going for John McLeod's team.
Well, Phoenix uses all of their players. They keep everyone involved in the basketball game. That's one of the reasons that they've had so much success so far this season. Even though they have 5 rookies on their lineup, they have one of the better records in the NBA.
That was Walter Davis scoring, and Cleveland now leads it 34-32 with 9:11 to go, second period. And Elmore Smith comes back. Smith was not hitting in the early going, and now he's starting to put it together. He has 8 points.
All of the shots that he has had, he gives up an easy basket or an attempt by Alvin Adams right there, have been in deep, and those are the type of shots that he makes a great percentage of. Here, watch right here. Ron Lee finds him on a real good pass. Adams goes up thinking that he has an easy jam. He doesn't get it. Elmore Smith fouls him. He's on the line.
Alvin Adams at the line. You know, there's been a lot of things said about this guy. They say he's built like a forward, but he passes like a guard and thinks like a coach. I think that's a pretty good quote on this young man, a very intelligent player.
That makes him a pretty good basketball player. He does a lot of things very well, and ever since he's been in Phoenix, they've had pretty good success. Last year he was out, and they were a dismal team. This year he's back, and with the addition of Walter Davis, Phoenix has been one of the real tough teams in the NBA so far.
36-34, Cleveland by 2. Terry Furlow, he was an outstanding shooter at Michigan State, and they feel he'll be as time wears on in the NBA. Here's Adams. Boy, I tell you, Elmore Smith made that tough for him.
Well, he went up with that 747 wingspan, but Alvin Adams just took it right over the top of him. Adams is an excellent leaper, and you cannot let him get a running start and get in that deep. That time, Terry Furlow didn't know where his man was, and that really set the play up for Alvin Adams.
Campy Russell outside. He's fouled. The basket will count, and the foul will go against Walter Davis. Campy Russell. Here's a young man in his 4th year. He's 3rd in assists on this team, 4th in rebounds, a leading scorer. And I guess if there's any one guy, Steve, that could carry them all the way, he might be the one.
Well, Campy Russell has a lot of great offensive moves. He does not think the game possibly as well as he should as far as tempo and what his team wants to do, but he is a tremendous scorer, and he's the type of guy when he gets hot, he can hurt you.
He now has 11 points in this game, 41-36, Cleveland. Cleveland, the game they won earlier this year, neither team got to 100 points, and there's Ron Lee in one of those patented moves. That is Ron Lee time and time again.
Well, nobody you'll see in the NBA spends more time than Ron Lee on the basketball court. Coming right down the middle. The middle should be closed. Elmore Smith comes over and gives him a little brush foul. Elmore Smith is going to have to take a seat, and Jim Jones is coming back in the game.
And there is Fitzwalker, number 14, who's checked into the lineup. Smith picking up his 2nd foul. Jim Jones comes in. They have real flexibility because Jones can play that center or forward spot. They have Jimmy Brewer, who also has some versatility. And there is Garfield Hurd out of Oklahoma, where he played for Johnny McLeod in college. 41-39.
They have broken up the Snyder and Furlow combination, which probably wasn't a bad idea because neither one of them are real good ball handlers, both good outside perimeter shooters, but they needed to get into their set offense a little bit better after Phoenix came down and stopped them on the initial break.
There was a veteran Russell giving the rookie Walter Davis a lesson. He faked him out on that one. Bratz down the court. Terry Furlow. Fine pass to Campy Russell, and Ron Lee. He fouled him, but he almost pulled it off.
Well, Terry Furlow made a real fine pass to get the breaking situation started. He got the ball back, makes the feed to Russell. And watch Ron Lee, tremendous athlete right there. That's not a good foul for him to take, but that shows you how well he can jump and some of the things he can do as Russell's on the line. Campy Russell all of a sudden is now on an offensive tear. They must get some must get some defensive pressure on him. Walter Davis is going to have to tighten up on him or he'll blow him right out.
He has 13 points already in this game. Give him 14. Change coming in now. Paul Westphal will check back in, and there goes Bratz out of the lineup. Russell at 6'8", and he can handle the ball so well for a guy at 6'8". Now we've got a little delay. He's ready to go. Earl Strom passing it back. We have 7:40 to go now in the 2nd period. At halftime, we'll have Horse, and that should be a good one. Phil Chenier of Washington against John Drew of Atlanta. Adams down the middle. Rebound, Jim Jones. Furlow to Russell. This is Jim Brewer who's checked in. Adams brings it out, always looking for that outlet pass, and good hustle by Terry Furlow. Terry Furlow, he sat on the bench last year with Philadelphia. Adams again. And boy, they're always forcing that ball up the court, and Brewer with it behind the back. Furlow. Great hustle, but they just can't get the ball to go.
Well, the last 2 times down, Terry Furlow may have forced his offense some. He pushed the ball up on a good steal and then took an outside shot. And then he also had a 2-on-1 breaking situation, but he didn't give it up, and he never got a basket out of it as Fitzwalker wants to set it up.
Boy, this crowd here loving the action. Cleveland still with that 44-39 lead. Neither team getting the ball to go down for him. Garfield Hurd, stolen by Terry Furlow. He just can't get the ball to go. He's had 3 cracks at it.
Well, the only way you're going to give yourself a chance at it is to put it up, and Terry Furlow certainly is a tremendous shooter, and if you don't shoot the ball, you can't score, and he intends to score when he's in the basketball game.
Jim Jones committing a foul. That's his third, and that is a fourth team foul now against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Bingo Smith getting ready to come in. A break in the action. The Cavaliers 44-39.
See what's new today.
Last spring, 227 specially equipped Chevy Nova police cars were delivered to the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Department. Now, that's a tall order, but no surprise, because law enforcement agencies in 47 states have made Chevy Nova America's best-selling police compact. Now, a lot of the things the police look for in a new car are the same things you'd look for in a new car. Reliability, performance, and value. Chevy Nova, a wanted car, now more than ever.
Pro Kids would like you to know there's a movement afoot.
It looks so easy on TV, but it won't come that easily. Then sometimes there's magic, and you've made the perfect play.
America is moving to Pro Kids because Pro Kids are built to run comfortably and as fast as humanly possible.
That moment is so sweet, with those Pro Kids on your feet. Pro Kids for all those moments, you feel like a pro.
Light beer from Miller tastes just great, and that's no fish story. But the best thing is, it's less filling. Light's got a third less calories than their regular beer, and that's important when you're trying to land that big one. Like yesterday, I hooked this bass, fought him for over 6 hours. All of a sudden, he jumps clean over the boat. Broke my rod, and I had to tie the... No, wait a minute, fellas. I had to tie the line
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Left me out there with nothing but a paddle.
Join hosts Mary Tyler Moore and Walter Cronkite with 120 of CBS's brightest stars for the gala celebration, CBS on the Air.
Cleveland leads by 5. Let's go now to the Chicago-Detroit game. Bob Costas and Gus Johnson in Detroit.
Welcome to the fans who have just joined us here in Detroit. The Pistons are in white and the Bulls are in red. And the score now is Detroit 36 and Chicago 30. Bob Costas along with Gus Johnson. And this is Detroit with the ball. Eric Money, who has scored 13 points so far in this first half, finding Chris Ford, who is guarded by John Mengel. M.L. Carl on the baseline, Cazzie Russell on him. ML forcing a shot and banking it in.
I wouldn't call it a forced shot right there, Bobby, because what happened is he had two men guarding him. Cazzie left to the side, left the lane wide open. He took one step and he had a layup.
Got 4:38 to play in the first half.
We got a sub
Pistons
down
up by 8.
Tell him where he's supposed to be.
Welcome back to Cleveland. Gary Bender and Steve Jones. 48-43 Cleveland leads. While you're away, Terry Furlow hit a couple of baskets. Alvin Adams hit inside to Westball, who was able to put it in. And now this is Alvin Adams trying a left-handed hook. And we're going to have a loose ball foul. Going to go against Walter Davis.
Walter Davis has not really gotten involved in this basketball game offensively like he should. He's standing around moving a little slow. He's a little late coming over right there, and he gets a foul on Jim Brewer, and he has to take a seat as Alvin Scott replaces him.
That's 3 fouls on him. So now Davis sets down for a while. Walker picked up by Ron Lee. We have 5:14 remaining before halftime. Bingo Smith. Boy, what a career he's had here in Cleveland. You talk about a guy that could shoot a streak. Here comes now Ron Lee. Look at the quickness on that guy. Rebound, Jones. Off to Jim Brewer. Furlow's hit 2 straight. Trying to go for 3 in a row. Boy, he's making things happen, isn't he? He's going for that basket.
Well, he's hustling. He's an offensive player, and he's trying to get to the basket as many times as he can. He's put the ball up about 6 or 7 times in this period. He's only got a couple of drops for him, but he has hustled and done some other things that have helped him. The thing that really hurts the Cavaliers is they're trying to break, and they don't know how to run the break. They oftentimes have the ball out on the wing when it should be in the middle.
Don Boosie now in the game. He's handling the basketball. Up to Adams. Adams, a left-handed shot not going, but he got the follow. Look at Jim Jones. Is he mad? Boy, he slammed the ball down after that one.
All upset at himself because he makes Adams take a tough shot, and then he doesn't box him out, and Adams comes back in and gets a stuffer, and that's an easy basket.
10 points in the game now for Adams. Jones driving in on Adams. So he's going to come back and match baskets with him. Here's Boosie. Boosie not seeing a lot of action in this first half of play. Adams, he walked with the ball. Adams didn't agree with that one.
Well, he did do that NBA shuffle. That time he got caught and didn't get away with it. But the Phoenix Suns time and again have been able to push the ball up the court and really come down the gut to get good offensive tries. They haven't gotten a lot of them down, and the Cavaliers are now having to set up a little bit more as Furlow gets that one.
And right now, they're enjoying a 9-point lead. That's their biggest lead of the game, and we have 4 minutes left in this first half. So the Phoenix Suns, who have lost 4 in a row, are having their problems. They're going to regroup forces as we return to the Richfield Coliseum.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Hear that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Heads!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
Listen up, team. It's a long ride to Hog Flats.
Yeah, all day long. So Starch is going to pass out the Right Guard deodorant.
We got stick or spray.
With Right Guard deodorant, stick or spray, protects all day. They don't just cover up odor, they help stop odor before it starts.
All day long.
And it's going to be a long day.
Right Guard deodorant. Don't get dressed without it.
Coming or going on a business trip, you've got no time to waste. And nobody knows that better than Hertz. Whether it's picking up or dropping off your Ford or other fine car, nobody has more to do it faster.
Go, OJ, go! Getting you in, getting you out with super speed. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
Next Sunday at 1:45 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports presents NBA Regional Action with Portland taking on Philadelphia, Chicago going against Cleveland, Detroit tangling with Milwaukee, and Boston at Seattle. Consult your local listings for the games and time in your area. That's NBA Regional Action next Sunday.
John Havlicek's been on a tear the last couple of games. They've won 2 and are leading right now over Denver.
Denver's in a late season slump. They have not been able to score, and that has hurt them. Philadelphia just has a 2-point lead over New York.
They've got McAdoo and also Spencer Haywood banged up. Back here now, we have a 54-45 game. Cleveland with the advantage, their biggest lead of the contest. We go inside 4 minutes to go before halftime. At halftime, Horse and Jimmy the Greek. Garfield Hurd.
After most timeouts, the coach likes to get a set play to get his team organized to make sure that they get a shot. That time, Garfield Hurd gets a good opportunity, and they get it buried, and they're coming back up, playing a tough D this time again.
Walker trying to go in on Boosie. Boosie with the very quick hands, and there's a steal by Jim Brewer. You can hear him chant Brewer here at the Coliseum. This crowd very much into this game. Cleveland trying to make it 4 in a row after losing 3 in a row. And a very slim lead in the Central Division over Atlanta, New Orleans. Bingo Smith. Rebound Adams. Adams getting a lot of defensive boards. Boosie, and Scott can't handle it.
Well, they ran the break the right way, but Alvin Scott was not ready to handle the basketball, and they lose it. But Detroit has a lead on Chicago, and Chicago has to win every game if they're going to make it back to the playoffs this year.
Boy, they just cannot afford to lose it. They're trying to catch up with Milwaukee in that Midwest Division. 2:52 to go, second period. Here's Furlow seeing a lot of action. But he's not hitting those shots from that corner. Walker comes away with it. Look at Furlow again, would you? It counts, and he's been fouled. You know, this guy really wants to play. You can just tell him.
Well, he's just happy to be here this time. This is a tough try. He gets a little magic on the ball, and it goes down for him. He's on the free throw line. He's a tremendous athlete with a great shooting range, and he just has to learn what are good and bad shots for him, and the only way you get that is by being out on the court.
He's the all-time scorer in the history of Michigan State. He was third in the NCAA as a senior. He has 9 points this afternoon. Backdoor, nice play. Scott's been fouled. Scott fouled by Foots Walker. You know, Walker's only 5'11", but he can get up there.
Well, this time I think he surprises Foots Walker. Right here, he makes a good cut down the lane. He really should have taken it up. He thought he was going to jam it. Foots Walker said no, and he only gets the free throws instead of the hoop.
And they're over the limit. That's the second foul on Walker. Here is Scott. 2 players out of Oral Roberts this year playing in the NBA. Anthony Roberts with Denver, and this young man from Oral Roberts. But this guy came out of nowhere. He was, believe it or not, the 137th player taken. As we see Ron Lee, number 30, coming in, replacing Paul Westphal.
Well, Lucy Harris and Bruce Jenner were picked just behind him, so you know what company he traveled in.
Well, he's made this ball club. That's 2 points in the game now for Scott. 57-49. Boosie, you mentioned to me, Boosie has the quickest hands. You really got to watch the ball when you're around him.
He has very quick hands. He's not very fast foot speed wise, but he has tremendous quickness, and you cannot play around with the ball. As they get a big basket, Jim Brewer's come in here to give them a lift today that they haven't gotten from Brewer in some time. You watch Bingo Smith works his way out here on the perimeter. Great pass. Brewer muscles his way up. He gets one. Now he has a chance for a three-point play.
Penalty in as Brewer goes to the line. No, Brewer has varicose veins, and it's been giving him a lot of trouble with that leg. And, of course, he's been replaced in that starting lineup, but Bill Fitch feels he's playing his best basketball of the year right now.
Well, they need Jim Brewer to play well now because they're in a dogfight for that 5th or 6th spot in the playoff position, and they're going to need everybody healthy. They're going to need Frazier back. They're going to need Terry Furlow and Brewer, all of the people on the bench to come in and play well, as Garfield Hurd is being replaced by Bayard Forrest.
Bayard Forrest, a rookie who played last year for Athletes in Action. A big guy, about 6'10", from Grand Canyon College. Only player in the history of Grand Canyon to ever play in the NBA. You know, the Suns have 5 rookies on the team, more than anybody in the NBA.
That's what makes their success so surprising, that they have been able to come from being such a bad team a year ago to such a good team in just a short period of time with 5 young players.
Look at that Brewer, would you, horse aboard, as Adams misses the shot. 60-49, and Cleveland right now is opening up a gap. Foots Walker trying to use that screen by Brewer. Little guy in a little bit of trouble. 9 seconds now on the shot clock. And Walker's hammered. Well, they're going to jump it. They're going to jump it up. He just disappeared from sight on that one.
We'll see Foots Walker working his way down on the baseline. He comes in, and there's a lot of hands around. Looked like he got jerked off balance, but he's in a jump ball situation with Alvin Adams.
He's 5'11", Adams 6'9", no contest. A minute 35 to go before our halftime. Stay with us, Jimmy the Greek. Give you some inside looks. And also horse between John Drew and Phil Chenier. Here's Boosie.
This Cleveland Cavalier team has been having some problems. They've gotten leads earlier, but they have not been able to hang on to them. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to milk this lead.
Look at that. Big Bo Smith, and this crowd loves it. Cleveland right now 62-49. They're running what Phoenix hasn't been able to run at all. And here comes Charles again. Here we go. Getting a little too excited on that one.
Well, again, now it was important. They got Phoenix to take a tough shot from the outside, and what they try to do is make the home run pass. They don't get it completed. We'll see Phil Chenier and John Drew at halftime along with Jimmy the Greek.
Boy, John Drew is really bringing Atlanta up. They've been a real surprise in the second half of the year. Here comes Westphal. He just checked in. Oh, he hit that backboard or stand. I hope he's all right. He hit the upright there with his back. I don't think he hit his head. Let's see if we can see it, Steve.
Well, Westphal has nothing but total concentration on the hoop. He's going up strong right there. He just is looking back at the hoop and bangs into this goalpost structure here, and he's laying down there as they're administering help, and I think he's going to be all right. That is what you call total concentration on that hoop. He looked at it all the way in and coming back by.
Boy, John McLeod, you see him in the background. He had an anxious moment there. You know, Phoenix is going to make the playoffs. They're just battling for home court advantage. And you don't want a guy like Westphal getting hurt now.
Injuries are a big factor at this time of year for everyone, and they have had problems with their share early, but they have been able to win. They would hate to lose Westfall coming down the stretch and going into the last couple of weeks of the season.
Well, last year they were just decimated by injuries. Hurd was hurt, Perry was hurt, Adams was hurt. They were the walking wounded. This year they have Barry out right now. They've had Adams sick, but by and large not near as devastating as a year ago.
They're a much healthier basketball team, and of course winning helps their attitude out a lot, and they got off to a great start, and they've been tough all year long, and they really think that they're going to be a force in the playoffs.
And I think that's a good example of what they've been able to do this year, even though they're now facing their 5th loss in a row. Bingo Smith. Scott comes down with it off to Westfall to Ron Lee. Very, very fine execution. That's what Phoenix is known for.
That was good quickness and good passing on the break that time. They got the ball down and moved it back and forth between Lee and then got it to Aldens. And now Cleveland has a chance to get that last basket.
You see the time on the screen. Foots Walker not able to get it. Adams having a tough time. It's off of Brewer. And with 3 seconds now, Phoenix has the ball. 53 points on the board for Phoenix. Cleveland 62. A very fine lead for the Cavaliers. Westfall, what's that all about? He walked with it. So the first half is over here at the Ridgefield Coliseum, and look at this. Westfall is hurting. It may have hurt him when he hit that upright. Stay with us now for the halftime.
You flew in this morning, and you've crammed 3 days' work into one. Now it's late, and you're on your own. That's when you'll really appreciate Hilton Rainbow Service. We've got more ways to be friendly, more ways to entertain you, more ways to relax you, more ways to make you feel at home, when home's still a plane ride away.
Honey, I'm on the morning flight.
Let the Hilton Rainbow brighten your day.
I'm fixing up your house, Bozo, with tough paint this time. Right, Dad?
Lucite's plenty tough. It resists peeling and cracking.
How come?
For one thing, it's got mica.
Mica?
Mm-hmm. Mica's a mineral that reinforces the paint by forming overlapping plates to help make a tough seal. So it resists peeling and cracking.
He means Lucite lasts.
Now get a $1 refund from DuPont on every gallon of tough sealing Lucite.
Where are you going, America?
To Malibu.
Malibu. Malibu.
Malibu.
Looks like a large slice of America is going to Malibu. Chevy's new size, quick size, mid-size car that's so right in so many ways for so many people right now. You'd think it had been designed by Mr. John Q. Public himself. It's you, America. A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you.
You're gonna eat it up.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will pour.
Innkeeper, a ration of Lowenbrau for me and my men.
Lowenbrau? You guys finally win a race?
Oh, yeah, we found the secret. We lashed Joe to the mast so we couldn't fall overboard.
You guys.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
You know the best part about sailing? Yeah, this part.
Let it be Lowenbrau.
Hi, everyone. I'm Don Crickey, and this year at halftime on CBS coverage of NBA basketball, we have some of the top players in the league matched up in the old schoolyard game of horse, where a player must duplicate his opponent's shots or be assessed a penalty letter. 5 misses means 5 letters. That spells horse, and he's out. Today we have John Drew of the Atlanta Hawks matched up against Phil Chenier of Washington. And for more on the rules, here's Mendy Rudolph.
The basic rules of horse are as follows. The player in control must describe his shot beforehand. Now, 2 consecutive shots from the same area are not allowed unless someone moves at least 5 feet away. There are trick shots allowed. However, the same trick shot cannot be attempted more than once in the contest. The flip of the coin will determine who goes first. Now, there's going to be disputes out there, and if there are, My word will be the final judge.
Phil Chenier wins the toss, and he elects to open up with the jump shot. And the advantage goes to John Drew, who calls an under-the-leg shot, which he gets down.
See that? Let's take a look at it, Phil.
Here we are in slow motion. Big John Drew at 6'7", 215 with excellent body control. Gets the ball up and off the board and down, and Chenier has to match it.
What'd you do, go from your left to your right? Huh?
Okay, Philly?
Chenier's only 27 years old, but already in his 7th year in the NBA. Out of Cal at Berkeley, and the first letter goes up on Phil Chenier.
Down the middle, underneath.
John's going to do some more of this underneath stuff. A little awkward, but he got it in.
No, buddy. Oh, for Chenier.
One hand, underhand.
The same trick shot cannot be attempted more than once in the contest. The flip of the coin will determine who goes first. Now, there's going to be disputes out there, and if there are, my word will be the final judge.
Phil Chenier wins the toss, and he elects to open up with the jump shot. And the advantage goes to John Drew, who calls an under-the-leg shot, which he gets down.
See that? Let's take a look at it, Phil.
Here we are in slow motion. Big John Drew at 6'7", 215 with excellent body control. Gets the ball up and off the board and down, and Chenier has to match it.
What'd you do, go from your left to your right? Huh?
Okay, Philly?
Chenier's only 27 years old, but already in his 7th year in the NBA. Out of Cal at Berkeley, and the first letter goes up on Phil Chenier.
Down the middle, underneath.
John's going to do some more of this underneath stuff. A little awkward, but he got it in.
And for Chenier.
One hand, underhand.
John Drew's staying with the trick shots here. Phil Chenier hasn't seen a regular shot yet, and Drew's making him work.
Behind my back, in.
Behind his back and in.
Hey, Mindy, I have to try the other side. I have to go to the other side, try this one.
No, you tried this side. You got to go to the other side now. It's another shot.
But it's a different shot, though. I'm just going behind my back.
Different shot, not under the leg?
No.
Go ahead.
Who's on first? That'll work.
Backward shot.
John Drew isn't only one of the better scorers in the league, he's one of the better talkers. He talks to everybody during the game, including the press row. John's liable to try that shot in the game sometime. He put up anything and usually make it.
And John Drew picks up the first letter H. Phil Chenier.
All right. Stop.
There is the money shot of Phil Chenier, what's made him one of the best backcourt players in the league. The jump shot. And now he gets 2 quick letters on Drew.
John Drew picks up the second letter. Oh. Hold it, Phil.
Okay. Okay, from the corner.
And the advantage is back now to John Drew, who has a 3 letters to 2 lead.
Off the glass from the corner. Now you gotta go off the glass.
Drew keeps on talking.
With an S.
So right now, John Drew's 1 letter away from closing out Phil Chenier.
Off the glass.
Big guy from Gardner Webb banks it in, and Phil Chenier must match it up or go out.
Off the glass, yeah, off the glass.
That's it.
That will do it. Phil Chenier goes out at the expense of John Drew, so Drew advances here at the Omni International Complex in Atlanta, where the horse competition is staged this year. Let's meet the winner. All right, here is John Drew, a local favorite here in Atlanta, and John, you went way down into your bag of tricks to win this one.
Well, I feel that the person that's gonna win this whole thing is the person that got a lot of stuff. And I feel that I can compete with anybody else for his tricks and things of this sort.
Well, you had a lot of stuff. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Don.
John Drew of the Atlanta Hawks. A loser in the first round receives a check for $500. The winner, of course, advances. Join us next week when Maurice Lucas goes against Phil Smith.
This is Paul Westphal of the Phoenix Suns. He sustained an injury just before the close of the first half. We'll be checking to see what the extent of that injury is as his team trails by 9 at halftime. The NBA on CBS will return after this word from your local station.
The sinister figure of Cunningham continues to stalk Captain Nemo and his crew in this Wednesday's thrilling chapter here on CBS.
At the conclusion of today's game and each of our NBA telecasts during the season, we'll be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with this award, Chevrolet will present a check for $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the player's college or university. Any student may be eligible to benefit from these scholarship funds. Today's winner will be announced at the end of the telecast. Steve Jones and I will be voting for the MVP, and should we disagree, our producer David Fox will cast the deciding vote. A 9-point lead for the Cleveland Cavaliers here at halftime over the Phoenix Suns. The Cavaliers trying to win their 4th straight game. On the other hand, the Phoenix Suns trying to break that 4-game losing streak. Right now, let's go in Jimmy the Greek for Greek's Grapevine.
Time now to check in with our favorite Greek. Jimmy, what do you hear about Roy Bowe's efforts to save the New York Nets?
Well, he's in the same trouble he's been 2 or 3 times before, and he saved it by selling his big asset, like
Julius Erving to Philadelphia.
Right, so this time he'll probably sell Bernard King or his 3rd draft choice, and after Bird and Ford, you've got Michael Thompson left.
All right, now, Jimmy, what about the Auburn basketball program? Reports of trouble down there.
Well, Bob Davis resigned, the coach resigned, so there's some alleged, supposedly illegal violations, and I'm afraid the NCAA will probably set Auburn down.
Jimmy, O.J. Simpson, is Buffalo still testing the NFL waters, may trade him?
Every team that he possibly can trade him to. Their asking price is 2 first draft choices and 2 seconds. By the way, O.J. doesn't like the front line of the 49ers.
Any other trades?
There is another one, a tight end from Los Angeles. There's a lot of talk about him being traded, and don't forget he's from Southern California.
Which tight end?
Charlie Young.
Oh, well, Southern California, that means John McKay down in Tampa must be interested.
Definitely. Who else?
America has all kinds of drivers, so it's a good thing America has Quaker State motor oil. Because even if you drive like this, Quaker State helps cars last. Fact is, you can help avoid expensive engine repairs by using Quaker State regularly. Refined from Pennsylvania-grade crude oil, Quaker State helps cars last. Maybe that's why Quaker State's the best-selling motor oil in America.
Spring. It only comes once a year. If you want a nice, thick lawn, now's the time to do something about it. Give your lawn some Scott's Turf Builder right now. Turf Builder helps grass send off new branches, either tillers or rhizomes. This forms new grass plants that'll thicken up your lawn and fill in those thin spots. But don't wait. Before you know it, spring will be gone.
Cicely Tyson for Color Track by RCA.
My rose is red, my skin is dark brown, and my dress is bright orange. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Okay, big, green G. If National's gonna be the best car rental company, we have got to hustle. Schultz, the last reservation call.
9 seconds, sir.
Walsh, green light service means?
Fast service, sir.
Willoughby, before we rent this new Chevy, we check all 10 items on the maintenance checklist. And then We sign it. Sir. Okay, team, let's go.
10,000 people working for you. The big green team. We're National Car.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're not really appreciated? Hi, I'm Mindy Rudolph, and I found a place where you can get appreciation and thanks. Now, I'm talking about your local United Way agencies, where the pledge you made to United Way is working year-round in hundreds of agencies and programs like this. Helping out here can really make you feel pretty tall. On behalf of all the little guys everywhere, I'd like to say thanks to you, it works, for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. The Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Old Spice, stick deodorant or new antiperspirant.
The Cleveland Cavaliers lead by 9 at halftime here over the Phoenix Suns. And Steve Jones, I think the score maybe is not so surprising, but it's how the Cavaliers have gotten that 9-point lead, doing everything you would figure they couldn't do against Phoenix.
Certainly that's probably the most surprising thing about the first half. It's been a fast first half. Phoenix's pace, but they have not gotten the baskets down the way we'd like to see them go in, and the Cavaliers have really gotten the better of it. You see the shooting percentages are not that much different. Cleveland is slightly ahead from the free throw line. Phoenix has an advantage. The big assist, not that much different there either.
But an interesting thing here is you see Paul Westphal, we'll check the status of his injury, is that Phoenix leads the league in steals, but look, in the first half it's been Cleveland.
Well, Phoenix has been trying to go for the steals. Ron Lee has chased that ball all around, but he has been unsuccessful. You see Campy Russell leads the Cavaliers in scoring. Terry Furlow came in that second period and got 9, and then they have very balanced scoring the rest of the way down.
On the other hand, as you can see, Westfall's been the big guy. Adams in and out of the lineup in the first half. He had a hot streak there for a while.
He had a streak going. The surprise in that whole group is Walter Davis. He only has 6. The important thing to notice about Walter Davis is that he's always scored more points in the fourth quarter. We'll see what happens today as he had 3 trucks.
Now, Cleveland's really gotten some help from the bench.
That's a big difference right there, and that's probably the difference in the game so far. Cleveland has gotten players to come off and score 20 points, and Phoenix has only gotten 10.
Well, Phoenix with turnovers, but they will commit a lot of turnovers in their style of play.
Their style of play is the one of quickness and aggressiveness, and they've just not done, they've done it, but they haven't been successful in getting the type of shots and baskets that they want to get down. I don't know what to say for them, except that they'll continue to play at the same pace, and they will get a chance to shoot the ball. Cleveland has not done a good job of really controlling the tempo and keeping the opposition from coming back on them.
I want to kind of pinpoint one thing you mentioned very briefly. Walter Davis, you know, he's averaging 24 points a game. He has 6 in the first half, but you have pointed out very clearly that he's a pressure player. When you get down the stretch, that's when he mounts the points.
Walter Davis likes to have the basketball when it means something, and he always makes sure that his teammates get involved in the game early, and then he seems to pick up his scoring. And he will always end up with around 11 points in that final period, and he's the type of player that Cleveland's going to have to shut down if they want to really keep the lead.
Steve, as you look at Phoenix here warming up, that Pacific Division has really been something. You know, 5 teams could yet get into the playoffs.
Golden State lost a heartbreak of a game last night that would have brought them to 500. They dropped to New Orleans, who also is fighting for a playoff spot. They have to win. It's very interesting to note that there's so much power in one division and it's such a balanced league.
And then on the other hand, Cleveland feels that there'll be maybe 2 teams coming in from the Atlantic, and then the other 4 would come, but from the Midwest, or I should say the Central. But there is still a chance that 5 teams could come out of the Central Division.
There's a strong possibility. We see the score again, but the New York Knicks, they are playing good enough basketball to hold on their position in the Atlantic Division. They should make the playoffs.
However, we understand that Bob McAdoo was shaken up. He had a collision in a game, and also we know that Spencer Haywood's going to be out for 7 to 10 days. So this game just about ready to go here as the Cleveland Cavaliers with a 9-point lead. Let's look around the league now. Detroit, I tell you, they are putting one on the Cleveland Bulls, or Chicago Bulls this afternoon.
Well, we'll have everybody in Cleveland for sure. You see, Philly had a big scoring game last night where they put up 141 points, but they're down by 3 at half.
That's surprising. And now we go back to that Detroit and Chicago game once again. But Detroit, under the direction of Bob Lanier. You know, Lanier was playing superb basketball, then he was hurt, but he's picked his game up once again. He's having quite a year for the Pistons.
Well, Bob Lanier has always been a strong force for the Detroit Pistons. They just not seem to have gotten the right type of people around him to put it all together. They've had a couple of winning seasons, but the administration has always had some type of shakeup and has kept the ball players off balance.
Okay, we're ready to go now. Don Boosie, along with Paul Westphal, will be the guards. Walter Davis, Alvin Adams, and Garfield Hurd will open the second half for John McLeod's team. Foots Walker, Austin Carr. Looks to me like Westfall's okay. Just into the first half, he was holding that left shoulder. He's a tough guy, though, and he's back in. He passes off to Walter Davis. And now Davis has 8 points, and that may be a sign of things to come.
Well, if they can come down and set like that and get those types of shots for Walter Davis, of course they're going to get back in the ball game. The important thing for them now is to have defensive pressure and make Cleveland shoot perimeter shots.
And now they have a chance to climb within 5 points as we start this second half of play. Cleveland has Jones playing at one of the forwards. They have Elmore Smith at the pivot. Campy Russell at the forwards, and as we said, Carr and Walker playing at the guard spots. That's the same 5 that opened the game for Bill Fitch. Don Boosie, who scored early in this game, hasn't scored since. He doesn't get it to go, and Elmore Smith comes away with it. Up to Carr. Cleveland now a little bit more in a slow-down situation. Maybe Bill Fitch has said something at half.
Well, he didn't have to say too much because Phoenix decided that they needed to work a little bit more and set up the offense and try and get some easier shots, so Cleveland didn't get a breaking situation.
Jim Jones touched it last, and Phoenix has it. Hurd brings it into Westfall. Westfall bringing it across now as we have 10:53 to go in this third quarter of play. Hurd looking for Davis. Walter Davis, backdoor to Boosie. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They move the ball well, but they don't get the shot. Jones brings it out to Russell. Campy Russell with 14 points in the first half. Mismatch on Westfall, and he's fouled. So at the 10:34 mark, we have a foul on Westfall.
Russell at the line for 2 shots.
We welcome the fans of Detroit joining us here in Cleveland. We've just started the second half of play. The Cleveland Cavaliers leading the Phoenix Suns 62-55. And at the line now is Campy Russell for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He has 14 points, leading his team in scoring after the first half of play. At halftime, Cleveland led by 9.
Led by 9. Russell misses his first try, but that was not a good foul by Paul Westphal. Russell was taking an off-balance shot from behind the basket. Would have had a tough time getting it down, and Westphal gave him an easy opportunity, and he got 1 point for the Cavaliers.
This is Don Boosie, picked up by Foots Walker. Backdoor to Alvin Adams, and Adams has it blocked by Elmore Smith. He tries it again, and Elmore Smith wins the battle, but wait a minute. We may have some goaltending on that play.
I said that Elmore Smith touched the rim, and they're going to give him the baskets. You see a good backdoor cut by Adams right there. Now he thinks he has it jammed. Smith comes up with long arms, and right there he comes up on the other side and gets a piece of the net, and they give the ball and the basket to Cleveland. To Phoenix.
Alvin Adams scoring a basket. Looked like he might have hit the rim on that. 63-57 now. Phoenix coming back after trailing by 9 at halftime, and Garfield Hurd slices it even more. Hurd with a total of 6 points, and now inside 10 minutes in the crowd here, the Cleveland crowd starting to feel uncomfortable. Puts Walker with Boosie on him. Out it comes now to Jim Jones. Rebound, Smith. Elmore Smith, and he's been fouled. Don Boosie reaching in and committing a personal foul. So Elmore Smith, a real power underneath, both on the offensive and defensive boards. And we have a timeout now with 9:39 to go in this third period. The Cleveland Cavaliers lead by 4 here in the Richfield Coliseum.
See what's new today.
Introducing the third generation Monte Carlo. The third generation of a highly successful personal luxury car. Its highly original styling opens new dimensions in affordable luxury and in comfort. With more rear seat headroom, legroom, and hip room than last year's Monte Carlo, the third generation Monte Carlo. Drive it and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
You work the docks. Without you, nothing moves.
The ships are too big, the loads are too heavy, and the days are too long. But every day, you do it. And when the sun finally drops into the cold water, another ship with a full belly heads out for sea. And you head in for Miller Time. Miller Time. Time to relax with the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you've got the time.
Sunday, don't miss. It's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown. Followed by the first Easter Rabbit. The fun starts Sunday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
This crowd of better than 15,000 partisan Cleveland Cavalier fans are uncomfortable, as is Coach Bill Fitch, because his Cleveland Cavaliers led by 9, and all of a sudden that lead has been sliced to 4.
Well, they've given up some easy baskets. They have not been able to come down themselves and get the same type of shots and opportunities that they had in the first half. Phoenix has been the team that slowed down the tempo. They are making Cleveland now shoot the ball from the perimeter. In the first half, Cleveland got to run a lot, which they don't normally do, and they got a lot of shots coming down the middle, easy layups and free throws. That's how they got the lead, and they haven't had a chance to do that in the second half.
Elmore Smith, who has 8 points, misses his first free throw. This young man shooting 67% from the free throw line. He now has 9 points, and they're back up by 5. This is Don Boosie, picked up by Walker. Off it comes to Westfall. Westfall doesn't seem to be bothered by that injury he sustained in the first half. Looked like something in the shoulder area. Adams having a tough time, off balance. Jones battling, but Walter Davis, boy, when he hits them, they don't even ripple the net. He has 10 points now after a very slow start in the first half. And it's now 64-61, and Phoenix is climbing back in here. Here's Elmore Smith. Smith now with 11 points. That's almost impossible to stop a shot like that.
Well, once a player gets down in that deep, you're in trouble. The only thing you can do is suffer. You must stop him from getting that position. You got to play good pressure defense.
There's Westfall. He comes away with the steal on Campy Russell. Davis back. Beautiful passing by Phoenix. Boy, that's the trademark of the Phoenix Suns, and right now we have a 3-point game, 66-63.
Oh, well, right here, you'll see Westfall comes over. He gets a lot of blocks like that. Alertly gets both his feet back in.
Shot by Austin Carr. Out it comes to Boosie. Westfall, Walter Davis. Davis has a hot hand right now, and you can tell it. He's looking for that basket. 66-65, it's a 1-point game. We welcome the fans from Philadelphia. We have a 1-point game right now. The Phoenix Suns, after trailing by 9, have cut it to 1. They have the basketball. Westfall has given them the lead. And all of a sudden, Bill Fitch's Cleveland Cavaliers have been overhauled here by the Phoenix Suns, who are trying to break a 4-game losing streak. And with 8 minutes to go in this third period, it's the Phoenix Suns 67, the Cleveland Cavaliers 66.
A poem about deodorants. Roll, roll the roll-on, all sticky and wet. Or spray your underarm. What a fog you'll get. So give me the stick, Old Spice deodorant stick. It goes right to the spot. All wet or foggy, it's not. It guards against odor the whole day long. With Old Spice freshness, you cannot go wrong. So goodbye roll-on, so long spray. Old Spice stick, it's the only way.
Old Spice stick.
We're good and tough, we're the Kellys.
The Kellys have a way to save gasoline from the ground up. A steel-belted radial called the Kelly Gas Pincher. When we tested a set of gas pinchers against our non-radials, the gas pincher pinched from 14.5 up to 31.7 more miles out of a tank of gas. That's hundreds of more miles a year with the gas pinchers.
We're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Guilty. Not guilty. 6 votes guilty, 6 votes not guilty.
Not again.
This could go on all day. Bailiff! Pass out the right guard deodorant.
Good.
We got stick or spray.
With Right Guard, stick or spray protects all day. They don't just cover up odor, they help stop odor before it starts. All day.
6 took stick, 6 took spray. It's unanimous.
Right Guard deodorant. Don't get dressed without it.
Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Challenge of the Sexes features a parallel skiing challenge with world-class skiers Joseph Odermatt and Susan Korak. A skateboard challenge with Ernie Martin going against one of the best female freestyle competitors, Robin Logan. Plus a table tennis competition. That's Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Well, the New York Knicks overhaul Philadelphia. They're now having that lead sliced a little bit. They lead 76-73. We'll keep you posted on that one. Detroit, well, they're still really handling the Chicago Bulls. It's really a surprise this afternoon. Right now, the Phoenix Suns here in the Richfield Coliseum have taken a 1-point lead. Alvin Adams is in the lineup. He's picking up very tough on Elmore Smith, but Smith gets it to drop, and Cleveland has taken the lead. 13 points for Elmore Smith. Walter Davis, who's had the hot hand here in the third period. Westfall, and the Suns now are starting to really hit on all the cylinders.
Well, the one thing the Phoenix Suns have done in this period is they've established themselves by running their set offense and also getting to breaking situations. Cleveland has had a tough time getting shots just like the one Austin Carr just worked for.
Anthony Russell, he's been fouled by Adams. A basket will count. 17 points for Campy Russell. And look at it again.
Okay. Austin Carr working hard right there. Just misses a try. Russell gets the ball, muscles it back up, and Alvin Adams gets guilty of the foul, and Russell gets a chance for a three-point play.
1-point lead now for the Cavaliers, 70-69. Anthony Russell already with 18 points. He is headed for a big day. 7:13 to go, still in this third period. We have a game. Here's Adams, beautiful backdoor.
Well, that time they took Big Elmore Smith out in the twilight zone. The big fella was lost out there. He gave him a little head fake and went back door, and he made a great pass to complete the play.
That's the 8th time this game has been tied. It's 71 all. Adams needs some help. Carr. Picked up and in by Campy Russell, and Russell now is a one-man show for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, Campy Russell is keeping Cleveland in the lead. He's applied his offense. He's been every place, on the boards, out on the perimeter, and that's what you have to play. Alvin Adams caused that play by trying to make that long home run pass. He should have made the little short pass in the middle, and they had a breaking situation.
Davis, after hitting 3 in a row, misses one. Woods Walker brings it down. Look at this move. Elmore Smith tries to follow. We have a loose ball foul, and it's on Garfield Hurd. Walker went down there. I don't know how he got in the middle.
Well, he come down the middle. It's pretty open. The shot is really a difficult try right there as he yo-yoed his way. He showed it 2 or 3 times, and all they got out of it was the ball back.
2 fouls on Hurd. 4th team foul on the Phoenix Suns. That's a tough shot. Walker, the little guy, and he can't get it to go, but Jones does. Jimmy Jones and this Cleveland team is fired up now. They bump it back up to a 4-point lead.
Well, they've gotten it back because they've been able to get 2 and 3 shots at the basket. The last 3 times down, they put the ball up more than once, and they've ended up getting it on the 2nd or 3rd try.
After Westfall, the intensity of this game really picking up now. Here's Hurd. And Garfield Hurd is able to contribute 2 points. He has 8. And it's again a 2-point game, 75-73. Big game for Cleveland. Phoenix wants to win. They want to continue to battle for home court advantage in the playoffs. Austin Carr with 6 points.
Well, Austin Carr, he's got as much offensive firepower as anybody, and once he gets rolling, he can really heat it up.
And we have a foul on Paul Westfall. That was an unusual foul, wasn't it?
Well, Westfall that time was trying to challenge, and he thought he was going to surprise Austin Carr. Carr going right here. Westfall thought he was going to come back the other way, and he got stuck.
That is his 3rd personal foul. That'll send Carr to the line because they're over the limit.
The thing the Phoenix Suns don't want to do now, they've climbed the mountain to get back in the basketball game, but they don't want to put the Cleveland Cavaliers on the free throw line to let them get easy opportunities. Free throw situations have a way of killing whatever momentum you can build up. So now, after taking the lead at 67-66, it's now
The Cavaliers back on top, 79-73. 5:10 to go, third period. Walter Davis, who started this move for Phoenix, and he's going to continue it.
Notice that Phoenix, when they got in trouble and started to lose a little of the momentum, they came right back and got into their set offense. They went to one of their big numbers, Walter Davis.
He has 14 points. Jones can't get it. Garfield Hurd. Here comes the break. 3-on-2. Oh, that is beautiful.
Phoenix Suns have been running a clinic on the fast break in the second half. Every time they've gotten the basketball, they've gotten it in the middle of the court and always had two outlets to go to, and they've always gotten a basket.
23 points now for Paul Westphal. 79-72. And now Phoenix can tie it up. Hurd off to Westphal. Well, they don't dribble the ball. They just pass it when they want to get it down the floor.
That's the way they teach it to you. Pass the basketball will always get there easier than the man dribbling it, and Westphal gets a tying basket.
Well, Westphal's at his average now for the year, 25 points. Paul Westphal has tied this game up, 79 all.
Well, the one thing that Paul Westphal certainly must feel is that Austin Carr is an offensive player like himself, and he would much rather play 2-for-1 than try and...
Boy, they're putting on a clinic right now, Steve.
Well, this is what got them the lead, opportunities like that. Now, Cleveland has come down and got out of what got them back into the lead. They have the penalty situation. They should try to go inside to Elmore Smith, get some cheap baskets, and not work so hard out on the perimeter.
Carr driving in. Boosie going for a steal again. They caught him for fouling this time. And now Bingo Smith is going to check in to the Cleveland attack.
What I was going to say about Paul Westphal is that he's an offensive player. Austin Carr is an offensive player. Neither one are noted for their defensive prowess. So Carr and Westphal are just having an offensive shootout, and Westphal's gotten the better of it so far.
Boy, I'd hate to go into a shootout with him. Ron Lee has checked in to the Phoenix lineup. Boosie will check out. Austin Carr at the line. I tell you, he's Mr. Automatic at the free throw line. He shoots 81%.
He has a career average of over 80%, and he really has been very good at the free throw line. He misses an easy one there.
Ron Lee, who just checked in. It's 81-80. The Suns by 1 point. 3.5 minutes to go, third period. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Walter Davis, he likes that spot. Rebound, Smith. Davis hits the deck on that play. Off to Walker. You know, Davis is limping in the backcourt. He's trailing the play, coming back into the picture. Bingo. Walter Davis is hurt. They're going to have to get an injury timeout or get him out of there.
Well, he appears to have turned his ankle on the last turnaround jumper that he took. He got fouled, but there was no call, and he went down pretty hard. He stayed down, and he's trying to work it off.
Adams on the drive. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 82-81. Cleveland by 1. I tell you, he's not hurt too bad the way he wheeled in on that play. But he was shaking there. You can see him to the right of your screen. He's just limping. And they're going to call timeout. So with 2:52 to go, and what's becoming quite a ball game here, it's a 1-point game. Cleveland by 1.
Enjoying the trip in your GM car?
Oh, yes.
Want to keep that great GM feeling?
Oh, yes.
Then shake hands with Mr. Goodwrench. He's dedicated to improved customer care at more than 6,000 participating GM dealers.
You want genuine GM parts. You want your car fixed right on time. That's what I want, too. Caring about your GM car helps keep me in business.
Keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts.
Homeward bound, coast of New England.
You got 6'2" feet.
The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
New around here? Sure got a nice motorcycle.
Oh, it's a new Honda Hawk Honda-matic.
Honda-matic?
No clutch.
No clutch. Well, beautiful wheels.
They're standard.
How does a little lady handle it?
Oh, new weight distribution. It feels light.
Someday I'd love to
Yes?
ride it.
Well, then go see your Honda dealer.
When you're on a Honda, you're really going strong.
On April 8th and 9th, CBS Sports proudly presents The Masters from the Augusta National Golf Club. This will mark our 23rd year of exclusive live coverage of this prestigious event. That's The Masters, April 8th and 9th.
Well, we're watching very closely Walter Davis. It looks like he's going to be able to continue in the game. He scored 8 points in this third period. Now has 14 for the game, and I guess if any one guy brought him back, it's been him.
Well, it's kind of a combination of things. They slowed themselves down to make Cleveland play a little bit more defense. They got better shots. Then they got a chance to play defense at the other end, harassing, quick defense that they play, and got the breaking situation, which has given them easy opportunity shots. And the game is now tied, and he will break it.
Walter Davis has been in double figures in every game this year. He has 15 thus far. It's 82 all now at the 2:45 mark. Third period. Bingo Smith, who got a basket before that timeout. Austin Carr, Walker, Bingo. Rebound, very fine rebound by Alvin Scott.
Now that last time shows what type of defense that the Phoenix Suns are playing, and they made Cleveland shoot the ball from the outside.
And there's the rookie Scott, who's been the big surprise this year in the NBA, hitting from the side, and it's a 2-point lead now for Phoenix. 4 points for Scott. I tell you, Cleveland gets relying on that outside shooting too much. Phoenix will run away from them.
The thing that you don't want to do with the outside shooting is shoot quickly, because that's the first outlet pass to a fast break, and Phoenix runs a break very well.
Inside 2 minutes now to go in this third period. Ron Lee operating on Footswalker. Walter Davis, 16 points for the young rookie. Boy, he's looking for that basket. Rebound, Elmore Smith. Out to Campy Russell, the leading scorer for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland now just trying to work it in, but Campy's taking it in. Rebound, Adams. They're only getting one shot, Steve Jones, right now.
Well, they're only getting one shot, and they're all coming down with the solo effort, so they've had trouble getting into their offense. What they need to do again is get back into the set offense, try to get the ball maybe going into Elmore Smith and get some cuts or some picks so they can make Phoenix play some defense and not get that quick opportunity shot.
That was the third foul there on Elmore Smith.
Shot!
Phoenix comes back, Alvin Adams. Rebound Adams. And the left-hand shot finds the mark. Greg Griffin, who's gotten a new lease on life, is rejoining the Phoenix Suns.
Notice the teams have kind of seesaw in tempo and in style. When Cleveland came back after having that lead, they got 2 and 3 opportunities to shoot the basketball. Phoenix then tightened up their defense. Now Cleveland only gets 1 opportunity to shoot the ball, and Phoenix gets 2 or 3.
Elmore Smith, rebound Adams. Adams doing yeoman work now on the defensive board. A good pass. Look at that, Ron Lee. Isn't he something? Westfall. I don't know where he got the ball off, but he did.
Like I said, you never know what Ron Lee is going to do. It looked like if he's going to have a chance to pass, Cleveland hustled back and broke that up, but he still found an open Paul Westfall, and they got another basket.
30 seconds now to go in this third period. Cleveland falling in the rear right now. Bingo Smith. He's fouled by Ron Lee. Substitutions. Terry Furlow will be coming in, and also Dennis Autry for the Phoenix Suns, as Austin Carr will check out. Bingo Smith will go to the line. This guy is the only original Cleveland Cavalier left in the history of this franchise. He's a great streak shooter. He's averaging just a little over 10 points a game, but I can remember 2 years ago when Cleveland won this division, he had those 30, 40-point games.
Bingo Smith is capable of having 30 or 40-point nights if he has enough minutes out on the court. He is just not seeing that much playing time. The quick forward position has been taken over by Campy Russell, so he's been giving him firepower coming off the bench.
4-point lead for the Suns, 8 points in the game for Bingo Smith. They're working it down now. We have 1 second more than there is on the shot clock.
What you do in this situation is really good pressure on the basketball and not allow the team to run their offense the way that they want to. Westfall says it doesn't make any difference what kind of pressure you put on me.
And that will bring to a close this third period. So the Phoenix Suns, after trailing by 9 at halftime, have a 6-point lead after 3 periods of play. They lead it 90-84.
See what's new today when you're driving down the road.
The new Monza by Chevrolet. For a car so sporty and so well equipped, it's priced surprisingly low.
The NBA on CBS will return after this word from your local station.
Be sure to see the hilarious comedy western Support Your Local Gunfighter with James Garner and Suzanne Plachette, Tuesday on CBS.
Phoenix Suns lead by 6 points. The Phoenix Suns lead by 6. Now let's go for a report of the New York Knicks-Philadelphia game. Brent Musburger and Keith Erickson are in Philadelphia. Let's join them.
Welcome now to those of you who've just joined us here in Philadelphia. The Knicks in dark with the ball. They trail Philadelphia by 2, 96-94. Doug Collins with 28 points. Phoenix leading Cleveland by 6. Collins off the mix. Rolls the running left-handed hook. 98-94. There's going to be a timeout called by Willis Reed and the New York Knicks.
There's that pass. Doug Collins trying to throw it underneath. Steve Mix alertly picks it up, drops a hook shot right through.
10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Philadelphia leads New York 98-94.
Welcome back to Cleveland. Both teams have exchanged baskets while you're away. Elmore Smith hit one, and Paul Westphal came back with one. And Westphal with 33 points as Bingo Smith hits one for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's 92-88. Phoenix with the lead as we start this fourth period. Greg Griffin, the left-hand southpaw. The rookie hits one.
Well, Cleveland did a good job of making a transition, and then they just challenged Greg Griffin to shoot that ball. No one came out and made an easy shot for him. You cannot give professionals that type of shot.
Terry Furlow hits from outside. Furlow now with 11 points, and we're coming down now to quite a finish. 94-90. Phoenix by 4, trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Cleveland with 3 straight wins. Westphal. Rebound, Bingo Smith. That's one of the few that Westphal has missed in the second half, as he's the leading scorer right now with 33. Woods Walker off to Terry Furlow. He's got the hot hand, he thinks. Rebound, Bingo. Bingo Smith's giving him a real shot in the arm.
Well, Bingo Smith is a great offensive player, as we all know, and the thing that he can do is he can come in and heat it up in a hurry, and that's why Bill Fitch has him in.
2-point game now. Phoenix, Dennis Autry. Dennis Autry can't get it to go. Here comes Furlow. To Bingo Smith. And Bingo Smith has tied it up. 94-94. 9:47 to go in this fourth period. Welcome to our fans watching that Detroit-Chicago game. We have 9.5 minutes to go here in the fourth period. In the dark uniforms, Phoenix. It's a tie game, 94-94. Puts Walker with the basketball. We have a foul as he continues up the floor. The Phoenix Suns trailing by 9 at halftime, took the lead by 6, and now it's all deadlocked.
The lead changes have come off of breaking situations. You'll see Puts Walker pushing the ball up the court. Ron Leap brushes him just a little bit. That's enough to get the foul, and Cleveland's going to get the ball out on the perimeter. But both teams, when they have made runs at each other, have been able to do it because they have come down and set the offense, established their offense inside, and then take advantage of a steal and a break.
The biggie, Elmore Smith hits. He has 17 points, and now the Cavaliers lead by 2. And Phoenix has called timeout. The Phoenix Suns want to talk it over with 9:11 to go in this fourth period. It's the Cavaliers by 2.
100 miles from nowhere, you prospect for black gold, punching holes in the seafloor, knowing that more often than not you'll come up empty. But you take the gamble anyway and give it everything you've got. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for shore and the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
The Road Handler, Sears' best steel-belted radio. It ran the rugged route of the Pony Express with even more traction than the Sears steel-belted radio that beat the Baja. Sears Road Handler has a wider radial design with 2 steel belts under a deeper, broader tread for a bigger footprint and better traction. Laboratory tests show better traction for wet curves, better traction for slippery hills, better traction for stopping. The Road Handler, from the home of the radios, Sears.
Sir, what's the hurry? Going to rent a car. Oh, well, you don't have to run. Gotta run. Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk.
Walk?
Call toll-free and let our Wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car.
I don't have to run through airports?
Not with Avis.
I can walk through airports.
We try harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
Well, we're headed down to the stretch. 9 minutes, 11 seconds left in this fourth period. Cleveland, after trailing by 6, has now taken the lead by 2. And we want to remind everybody to be sure and stay tuned for the MVP award at the conclusion of the game. And Steve Jones, I'm going to have to wait a while. I don't know now.
Well, it's been very tough. Both teams have some players that have played outstandingly well, and it's going to be a tough pick. I'll tell you now, Phoenix Suns have brought in a little bit more firepower. They brought Alvin Adams back in along with Walter Davis and taken Westfall out to give him a rest, so he'll be tough down the stretch.
Davis has a block by Bingo Smith, puts it up again, and Bingo Smith is playing very hard. And we've got a foul coming up on Alvin Adams. That all started with good defensive reaction by Bingo Smith.
Well, both teams, when they've played good defense, have gotten themselves back offensively. You see Davis gets 2 tries, and you'll see the arm right in the middle of Elmore Smith's back, and Cleveland has the ball at their end.
That's 3 fouls now on Alvin Adams, who comes up with the ball. 8:44. This is Alvin Scott. Scott and Adams as they bring it out now to Ron Lee. Adams picked up by Elmore Smith. Ron Lee from the corner. He hasn't been shooting very much. Bingo Smith comes away with it. Bingo Smith has been a very astute insertion into the lineup here by Bill Fitch. Here's Furlow going against Boosie. Boy, you got to watch Boosie in those hands. Tipped up by Bingo. Rebound, Adams. Adams has it stolen by Furlow. And back it comes Adams. Boy, Adams he's really battling in there. Ron Lee, Scott. He got it. He's fouled by Terry Furlow. Tell you, this Scott is certainly a welcome addition to Phoenix. He fits right into this lineup.
Well, you see, Scott makes a pass back. He'll get the return pass. This is what Phoenix does really so well. They play catch back and forth on the break. They get the defense to commit, and then they get the easy try. Scott's got a chance to get a 3-point play. Terry Furlow really was the cause of the break. He came down and went on a solo effort, one-on-one at his end without passing the basketball. Missed it, hustled back, got it back, and didn't want to be accused of putting the ball up too much and passed it when he had an open shot.
Scott now with 7 points. That was the second foul on Terry Furlow. Walker with Ron Lee on him. The turnovers in this game. Cleveland now has 11. Phoenix with a total of 7. That's off of the foot of Bingo. Look at the effort now by Walter Davis. Just sheer determination on Davis turns that ball over.
Well, he found out that floor is real hard. He went down and he's limping now, but they got the basket because of it.
99-96, Phoenix with the lead. 18 points in the game for Alvin Adams. Westfall with 33. Phoenix starting to heat up in this second half, and there's a foul on Don Boosie. Reaching in on Terry Furlow. Got some changes coming in. Austin Carr, Campy Russell coming in for Cleveland. Foots Walker, Bingo Smith will exit. And now Garfield Hurd checks into the lineup.
Well, they bring in some more firepower in the persons of Austin Carr and Campy Russell. I don't know if Campy Russell can really score any more than Bingo Smith, but he's in, maybe give him some better offensive rebound, although again, Bingo Smith was everywhere in that third period.
Okay, now Paul Westfall is also checked in. Jim Jones is in as Elmore Smith will get a breather. 7:26 to go in the game. Terry Furlow.
Now those are the type of shots that Terry Furlow is really best at right now, coming off of a pick or a screen, but he has come down earlier in the game and forcing balls by going one-on-one, and that's hurt the Cavaliers.
Look at Davis stay in bounds on that. Tightrope walk that far sideline. Garfield Hurd. A rainbow shot. Austin Carr. Jim Brewer has checked in. He hasn't seen a lot of action in this game. Campy Russell. Nice pass to Austin Carr. Hurd tips it out to Walter Davis. Here they come. Westfall with 33 points in the game. Nice pass to Davis. Tipped up by Ron Lee. Hurd, look at him, bang the boards, and a foul on Jim Brewer. There's an indication of Phoenix playing with enthusiasm.
Well, Phoenix that time was able to make the transition from their defensive end to the offensive end and get more people on the board. They got 3 shots that time. One of the things you'll notice is that Phoenix is always able to keep the ball in the middle on the break, and Cleveland does not.
We welcome those fans watching the Denver-Boston game. We have 6 more minutes and 42 seconds remaining in this game. Right now, the Phoenix Suns lead by 2 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, 100-98, as Garfield Hurd standing at the free throw line. Gary Bender and Steve Jones, a game that saw the Cavaliers lead by 9 at halftime, only to see Phoenix overhaul them by 6 and now enjoying this lead. This is Terry Furlow, the second-year man from Michigan State, tipped in by Jim Brewer.
Then they got a good set that time. Everyone was set and knew the ball was coming up, and Jim Brewer was able to muscle his way in and get the tip, and we have the game tied at 100.
This game has been tied 10 times, and here's a steal by Brewer. Brewer with Ron Lee on him. Brewer can handle the ball for a big guy, and Jones follows, and Cleveland now has taken a 2-point 102-100 lead. That's the kind of game it's been all afternoon long.
Well, it seems that neither team has really had good control of the tempo. When each time they've either gotten the lead, they've let the other team back in it by trying to continue to run.
Ron Lee having a tough time. Bill Fitz thought he traveled on that. Walter Davis. Davis can't get it to go. Adams to follow. It's tied at 102. A 102 all game as we have 5.5 minutes to go. What a game this is from the Richfield Coliseum. Austin Carr with Walter Davis on him. You can see Phoenix very active on defense. Here's Carr again, and he's cooled off. Walter Davis, 3-on-1 break. Ron Lee trailing. He should have passed that one off, and he still got it. Westfall, they're lucky to get 2 points on that one, Steve.
They got 2 points that time. That was the worst break that they've had all day. Most of the time, the ball had stayed in the middle. That time, it got out on the wing, and Ron Lee decided to take it in and be a hero, and he missed his chance.
104-102, trying to tie it up as Carr. He hits the deck, and we're going to have a foul on Ron Lee, and that'll be his 4th. Boy, I tell you, Carr hit the deck hard. Austin's hit a cold snap right now.
Well, right here, he's forcing the ball down in traffic. That's a tough try, but when you're living right, the ball bounces right back to you. He's flat on his back and gets a foul.
Going out of the lineup now is Terry Furlow, Foots Walker, Austin Carr, the guards. We have Brewer, Jones, and Campanella Russell. That's the 5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Westfall, Boosie, Garfield Hurd, Alvin Adams, and Walter Davis. And there is Al Bianchi.
They have 4, they have 2.
Checking on something for Coach John McLeod.
The thing that both teams must be aware of now is to control the tempo, to try to get good shots every time down to execute their offenses.
There's Carr. He's not giving up. Tipped up. Horsing the boards is Jones, and Walter Davis comes away with it. Davis can handle the ball, can he?
Well, one thing they can't do on Walter Davis that they would have been able to do on a Garfield Hurd or a Curtis Perry is pressure in the backcourt.
That's blocked by Russell, and he's called for fouling, and Bill Fitch is irate. Fitch is on his feet, yelling at referee didn't come at him.
Well, a little case of now you see it, now you don't. He pumps, and he comes across the side. He gets him with a little body. He had all ball, but he got him downstairs.
At the line, Walter Davis, he has 16 points. The last foul on Russell was his fourth, the team foul number 3 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We now have 4.5 minutes left, and there's your score. Walker with Don Bussey on him. Boy, I'll tell you, Russell ran into a wall that time, provided by Hurd and Adams is a guilty party. That's his third foul. The penalty now in.
Well, it can't be Russell's athletic ability has got him that foul that time because he went up and 2 men had the ball blocked, but he brought him back down, a little show and tell move, and he gets a couple of free throws to give Cleveland a chance to sneak back up by 2.
Russell with 20 points. Again now, the penalty in. The Suns have gone over the limit. John McLeod's checking on something over there. He has Walter Davis. Earl Strom is trying to get him back into the playing situation. He says, come on, man, let's play this game. Davis still visiting with John McLeod. This is what this NBA is all about, isn't it?
Right now, it's playoff fever time. Every team is playing real hard. The Suns now have a 3-point lead, and there's still some conversation going on the sideline as Al Bianchi and Earl Strom exchange.
Russell with 21 points, 22 points. A 2-point game. Phoenix up by 2. Bussey puts Walker on him. I'll tell you one thing, this crowd's alive. Westfall with Austin Carr on him. Westfall's going to go a little one-on-one. Out to Walter Davis. Tough shot. Rebound to Jim Jones. Jones brings it down with 4 minutes to go, and they can tie it up.
We'll now in a close ball game find out who wants to shoot the basketball. All players shoot the ball well when the game is close. When it's out of hand, either a big lead or you're coming from behind. Now it's close, so let's see who wants to take the shot for Cleveland and Phoenix.
Well, it was Russell that time. He may have forced it. Here comes Westfall. Broken up from behind by Walker. Great effort, followed by Adams. Alvin Adams, what an effort by him. He has 22 points. It's again a 4-point lead for the Phoenix Suns. Walker giving it off to Russell. Russell wants the ball and he wants the basket. Rebound, Walter Davis. Russell now has missed 2, cracks at the basket. Bussey, Adams. Alvin Adams hustles, doesn't he? He gets from one end to the other, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So with 3:07 left in this game, the Cavaliers find themselves down by 6 points, 110 to 104.
In the tropics, where we blend Dutch Master cigars, our master blender, Augusto Santiago, meets the tobacco personally. Before he accepts, he tastes it 3 times. First with his nose, then with his touch. Then he wraps a leaf around the cigar and tastes it with his taste. That's why a Dutch Masters like our Panatella is worth more. There really are masters at Dutch Masters.
Hey, look at that. It's a chainsaw with its case. Uh-oh, somebody left it. Probably taking a coffee break. It's a McCulloch Mac 140. Wow. It's got automatic oiling. That's slick. This is the chain brake safety feature. Yeah. It stops the chain in less than 1/10 of a second. That's fast. And look at these teeth. They sharpen themselves with a press of a button. Mine don't.
The McCulloch Mac 140. You can't buy another chainsaw with all these features at any price.
That McCulloch's got just about everything. Yeah, but I bet it can't swim. Good point.
McCulloch. In the yellow pages, under saws.
See what's new today in a Chevrolet.
Chevrolet Caprice and Impala wagons have more of the things wagon people want. A convenient door gate, quick and easy seat conversion, 2 lockable storage compartments, and a generous 4-foot wide cargo area. And for a full-size wagon, mileage is surprisingly good. See the new Chevrolet, America's best-selling full-size wagon, at your Chevrolet wagon stop.
Along with Steve Jones, this is Gary Bender. We have 3 minutes, 7 seconds left in this contest. The Phoenix Suns running very well in the last couple of minutes have bumped it up to a 6-point lead.
The Phoenix Suns have been very opportunistic, and they've gotten almost every easy basket down for themselves. They've played good pressure defense when they've had to, and it's been real tough for the Cavaliers, who've been a bit disorganized.
Foots Walker brings it out to Campy Russell. Russell with 22 points in the game, but he's missed his last 2 shots, and he's trying to go for another one. That's great effort on his part. He follows his own shot, and Hurd has it, and Russell can't get a shot to drop for him. Walter Davis out to Adams. Adams with a big tip in just before that last timeout, and then a stuff shot. Hurd brings it out to Davis. Davis started this move in the third quarter, and it's tipped up again by Adams, and Adams is following beautifully.
And the Suns have really decided to use the clock and pass the basketball around, and they're making it real tough for the Cavaliers to get back in this basketball game. They're getting 2 shots at the basket, and you cannot lose with 2 attempts every time down.
Boy, Hurd went up for that one, and now Cleveland has just gone ice cold. With 2 minutes to go, they trail 112 to 104. Westfall, Adams, and I'll tell you, when you start thinking about an MVP, there's one guy you got to consider, Alvin Adams. He has 28 points now, and he's gotten most of those points here in the third and fourth period.
You see Walter Davis pushes it up. They have an opportunity. Westfall decides to give it up to a man who has a better shot. Alvin Adams takes that high percentage try, and he's on the free throw line with a chance for a 3-point play. Cleveland has come completely to pieces as far as making the transition. They've shot at their end, but not gotten back good on defense. And Phoenix has been able to score. They're not boxing out.
This is Terry Furlow checking back in for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here's the effort by Adams, 28 points. Russell has 22. Westfall 33 in this game. Westfall got his mostly in the third period. Here's Furlow. And they just can't get a shot to drop, and Hurd is fouled by Terry Furlow. Garfield Hurd has really gotten up on the air on those defensive boards.
He gave them a stellar effort right when they needed someone to go up and be authoritative on the boards. He has come up and gotten every big rebound for them. John McLeod is giving a lot of instructions to Don Boosie. He's probably telling him we want to really control